My name is Kwynn Kyd. As my back-end portfolio project, I created a homeschool scheduler API using these technologies. This is my user's Mongoose schema, which is using Passport's local strategy for authentication. I have a role which I set to teacher or student depending on which type of user it is. If it's a student, I have some extra information in a student info field with their grade, rating, and who their teacher is. This is the schedule schema with a unique and required title, which student the schedule is for, and which teacher created it. It also has an array of assignments, which is just a subject, an assignment, and whether that assignment has been completed, which I set initially to false. This is the teacher sign-up route. It uses cores as well as all my other routes. It sets the role of the user to teacher and checks for first name and last names and registers it using Passport for authentication. Here I'm using Postman to register a teacher, which says it has been successfully registered, but if you try and register them again, it'll say that user already exists. This is the student sign-up route, which is a little more complicated. First, it has to check if a teacher and grade have been provided. If it has, then it looks to make sure that teacher is a valid username, and if it doesn't exist, it tells us that. If a teacher with that username is found, then it'll create a student user with that teacher as their teacher. It'll set the role to student, set the student information, and register the student user. When a teacher is logged in, they can see the students that belong to them. Here I have authentication for seeing if it's a student user, a teacher user, or an admin user. On line 60 in the code, I use filter to filter out just the student users that match with the teacher who is currently logged in. A teacher can create schedules for one of their students with the title being the date the schedule should be completed on with the username of the student the schedule is for. In the code you can see I've made the title student.usernames schedule for the title. Here a teacher can add an assignment to a schedule. When a user is not logged in, they will get unauthorized. A logged-in student can get schedules belonging to them. I've done this giving the find method the search parameter of the logged-in user. Students can see their assignments for a specific schedule. And students can mark an assignment as completed, if that is, they're using the put method route. The route for teachers to edit or update a schedule was probably the most challenging because of all the logic and checking I needed to do depending on what was being changed. Updating just the title was going to be different from updating the title and student or just a student, or marking the schedule simply as completed. That was the easiest thing to do. I've had challenges both big and small in this project, most of which I've overcome using my favorite debugging method, using console.log. I'll log variables and where I am in the code. When I am able to see what the program thinks the variables are and where it did or didn't get to, I have been able to reprogram my code to do what I actually wanted it to do, or at least to be able to see what I needed to research more to understand how to get it to do what I wanted it to do. Over the course of this bootcamp, I've gotten a lot better about knowing which websites will give me the answers I'm looking for and which search terms to put in to get what I'm looking for more quickly. I've also gotten much better about understanding error messages and discovered that it makes me really happy when I am able to fix what was wrong. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch my portfolio presentation.